It's Saturday morning in Italy, and you're listening to the Magic Towns Italy podcast.
Hi, Anna. Before we start, quick test.
I'm a bit
If
scared.
I told you that the best connected region in Italy for trains is Liguria, would you believe me?
No, absolutely not. Like Liguria, have you ever tried to actually get to Liguria? It's a nightmare.
Right. Liguria is what our data says. It's the number one region in Italy for rail connectivity.
No, that cannot be right.
It is right. But it's also somehow wrong. And that contradiction is basically this entire episode. Welcome back to Magic Towns Italy. I'm Luca.
And I'm Anna.
This is a weekly podcast where we look at the actual data behind moving to and living in Italy. And we try to figure out what the brochures get wrong.
Which is a lot.
Yes, it's a lot. And today we're talking about trains. We have just finished a piece of research that maps every single municipality in Italy. There's almost 8,000 of them against the nearest train station. Drive time, what kind of trains run there, and how good the station is, the whole thing.
And why are we doing this?
Because every town in our town explorer got a big upgrade this week. We added some new rail filters. We updated the connectivity scores, driving town to station for every town in Italy, so our subscribers can search which other small town in Italy they want, but they also want it within 10 minutes of a good train line.
Yeah, exactly. So this episode is the story of what we found while building that.
Exactly. And I'm sitting with Anna, who is a long suffering Italian, who has actually been on these trains for many years.
Yeah, the reality check.
The reality check. So let me give you the top line number because this surprised even me. 40% of Italian towns have a train station within a 10-minute drive. 40%.
That's high.
Yeah, it's really high. In terms of raw infrastructure, Italy is a country full of rail lines. And for instance, Britain and the US particularly are much sparser by comparison.
Okay, so that's the good news.
Yeah, here's the bad news. Out of these almost 8,000 towns, only 38 of them, 38, have a true high-speed national hub at their doorstep. Like a Frecciarossa, Eternal, those are the very fast lines. The kind of station that gets you to Milan or Rome or Naples without having to change.
So 38 out of almost like 8,000.
Yeah, that's less than half of 1%. And of those 38, only 13 actually sit within a 10-minute drive of such a fast station, and the rest are out in the commuter belt.
So when people say Italy has amazing trains,
It has
like
amazing trains between about a dozen major cities. The Frecciarossa from Milan to Rome is genuinely world class.
it's beautiful. The 8 a.m. from Milano Centrale to Roma Termini, it's like, 3 hours. You have a coffee. The Wi-Fi actually works. So
Yeah, it does work. It does work.
yeah.
Outside that spine, very often you're on a regional train that shows up every 2 hours and then stops at every single place between you and the next provincial capital.
And that's where you find out what Italian rail really is.
So let's go back to Liguria, northwestern Italy, capital Genoa. Why do you reject the data, Anna?
I don't reject the data. I just
No, you said the data.
like, have you ever tried to get from like Genova to anywhere
Genova to Milan is only an hour and a half.
when the line isn't closed because of a landslide?
Can you go
Um,
further?
yeah, like Genova to Florence, you essentially have to go via Pisa. Genova to anywhere east, you go through Milan. So basically, the whole region is one strip of land between mountains and the sea, and the rail line follows that strip. So when something goes wrong, basically the whole region is stuck.
Okay. So the data does pick this up. Liguria's towns are very often on that coastal line. The line runs practically through every town. So there's a station very often within walking distance, and the stations are mostly decent because it's a main line. And by our score, that does put Liguria first.
Right. So you're measuring, is there a train near you?
Exactly. Is the train going somewhere useful as part of the score, but it is not the whole score. Like in our healthcare analysis last week, being 10 minutes from a decent station beats being 60 minutes from a great station, especially when you can connect from the former to the latter.
Yeah, Calabria has the same problem because like the trains move, but the speed, the frequency, what you can actually do with them, it's pretty lacking. Like I would be wary of telling someone to retire to Calabria and rely on rail.
Calabria has, in terms of ranking, it's 14 out of 20 regions in our system. So we are picking up some of that. It is well below the north.
Yeah, but it's above Trentino Alto Adige, which is gorgeous and well served.
But it's definitely gorgeous, definitely well served. But Trentino is mountains. So towns are very often far from the stations, and the data penalizes distance. Also, it has a single rail line that goes from Verona up to Austria, and the score reflects that too.
Yeah, and one more thing that I want to say here, because I think it's important, is that, I grew up in Northeast Italy in a small town with like 18, 20,000 people. And we had plenty of trains every hour to Venice, Verona, Padua. And I just assumed for years that this was how Italy actually worked.
And then?
And then then I started traveling farther south.
Oh, no.
And
Stereotypes.
yeah, I mean, frequency varies a lot depending on where you are, and you only notice when you leave the place where it's good.
Yeah. And actually, that's the reason why I wanted both of us to talk about this, because, the data is right about what it measures, but then the lived experience, Anna, your lived experience as a commuter.
It's just completely different.
Yeah, it's somewhat different. So, another favorite finding from the research, little pop quiz, Castelli Romani, the hill towns south of Rome, beautiful, famous for wine. Where would you go and live if you wanted to live there car free?
Frascati.
Why?
Because it's Frascati. Everyone goes there. No, he has the name, the
The
wine.
wine.
Albano is nice too. Not the sing.
Yeah.
Not the singer, the town. It's
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if our listeners know a band of the singer. And don't listen to them. That's just my opinion. So the regional line that serves Frascati, Albano, and Velletri, it has three branches at Zampino, and it runs about once every hour.
once an hour is fine.
Yeah, it's fine now. But if you look just east of those branches, there's the FL6 branch, and that's the Roma Casino main line. It goes to Naples. And on that line, there are two towns called Zagarolo and Colonna.
Never been to Zagarolo.
And I don't think many people have. There's no brand, there's no Pope Villa. It's a town. But the train runs about every 30 minutes. And going from Zagarolo to Roma Termini takes 28 minutes.
28 minutes?
28 minutes? And Frascato to Termini is 30 minutes. So, you get twice as many trains and it's a little bit faster. But no one knows about this place.
Yeah, the place nobody goes has a better train than the place everybody goes.
Yeah. Same countryside, and the house is cost half as much. And I'm sure no expert has ever heard of this place. And there's no one that since all the big famous real estate agencies are all over Frascati.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that's frustrating about how foreigners search for Italian property because most of them search by name recognition. In this case, name recognition has nothing to do with rail.
Yeah. And that's why but just go and use the Town Explorer. The Frascati and Zagoro are 20 minutes apart. They look identical on the relocation map, so that may change your decision.
Yeah. Also, Zagarolo is a beautiful name. Zagarolo.
Next up,
Very
Puglia.
beautiful.
Yeah, mostly. Puglia has the best train coverage in the country by drive time. 65% of Puglian towns are within 10 minutes of a station.
65%.
65. Italy averages 40.
Okay, that seems impossible. The South is supposed to be.
Underserved? Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's what happens. There's a network down there that's called Ferrovie del Sud-Est. It's not the main Italia rail network. It's a regional operator. It goes through the Salento, through all the little towns. Every village is a stop. and they're all close to the center.
And
And the trees, clean. The average connectivity score for Pullman stations is the worst in the country. It's worse than Sardinia. It's a dead, slow, and regional network. Lots of stations, very limited usefulness for going anywhere fast.
yeah, I've taken these trains and they are slow. But if you live in Polignano Mare, for example, and you want to, I don't know, take the train to Ostuni for dinner, let's say, they're perfect because you walk to the station, you read your book,
Yeah,
you
you
arrive,
wait. Yeah,
you have your dinner, like,
sure. Let's hope there's a train to come back from dinner. Anyway, this is not a commuter use case.
no, 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 it's completely different. It's a life train, not a commute train.
Oh, a life train. That's a great word.
Life train.
Life. And the relocation price confuses a few things all the time. Like they show you Salento, they say it has trains, but they don't really tell you what having trains means. It, it, it takes you 7 or 8 hours to go to Bologna
With one change in body.
if you're lucky one change.
Okay. Can I bring up the lakes? Because the lakes are where the lies are worst.
The lies are worse. You're quoting one phrase after the other. This is the quote of the episode.
Okay, so Como. Como is two completely different places.
Yeah. Well, you have Como City, the southern tip, where the train meets the lake going down to Milan or the other way around. Anyway, that's excellent. The whole southern crescent, the trains every 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then everyone wants to live in Bellagio.
Of course, which is 25 minutes from any station.
Yeah, the rest of the middle and northern lake average over 20 minutes drive to any rail. And we are talking about the towns on the postcards, of course. Same thing with Garda. Like the start of Garda is on the Milan-Venice main line. Peschiera, Sirmione, love Sirmione. Frecciarossa stops nearby, trains all day, but the north of Garda, like Limone, Riva, Malcesine, and these.
Yeah. 30 minutes to go to any station.
And those are the towns everyone dreams about.
Now, there's one lake that no one talks about, Lake Iseo. That's the lake winner. There's a regional train line that goes all around the lake. It stops at every town has a station, and every station scores pretty well.
It's the lake you would actually live on if you didn't have a car.
And no one talks about it. The whole Italian lakes brand is called Margarda, called Margarda. And Iseo is the third lake in everyone's mind, but I don't think it should be.
It's also smaller and prettier, I would
Don't tell
say.
anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Too late.
Um, Last thing, and this one's a bit sad, the Borghi, those famous hilltop villages, Pitigliano, Civita di Bagnoregio, Santo Stefano di Sessagno, beautiful.
Yeah, the Instagram villages.
The Instagram villages. Those are systematically out of any useful rail.
Of course they are. They are on hilltops.
Yeah, exactly. The main tracks in it were laid out in the 1800s, and the planners just cut out the whole Apennines, like, the main chain running through the stem of Italy. So you have this geographical fact that the towns are spectacular, and they are spectacular because they are inaccessible.
Yeah, this is the thing tourists don't understand. Like the reason the Borgo is preserved is because nobody bothered to build a road through it for 200 years. So if you want to live the Borgo life, the real life isn't for you.
Yeah, they're not compatible, which is fine if you know, but the issue is that people don't often know. They go on holiday, they fall in love, they buy a house, and then they realize that they have signed up to drive everywhere for the rest of their lives. To finish off, practical section. This is about you. I'm tired of talking about data, Anna. Talk to us about what it's actually like to take the train all the time in Italy.
Yeah. So let me start with the thing people miss. Even if you have a car, having a station near you is always, always, always a plus.
Okay? Why?
Because it gives you options. I don't know, like your kids, let's say that your kids want to go on a day trip on Saturday. You put them on a train. You're going to Bologna and the traffic is nightmare and you don't want to deal with parking. You take a train. So it's
Yeah.
not instead of a car, it's as well as.
I can say I have taken the train to Bologna sometimes because of the fog. Much rather get the train to Bologna and not have to worry about the fog. So you're right.
Yeah, it's way better. And another thing, always book high speed online, never at the station.
Didn't know this. Why?
Because you'll pay more for no reason. Online, you can find tickets at a fraction of the price if you plan ahead, of course. Yeah, I think high speed prices are honestly excessive. Like, you can pay, I don't know, 60 euros just for an hour and a half. So, if you don't book in advance.
Really? That's crazy. And what about regional trains? It's been a while since I took one. I didn't see it.
Yeah, they're cheap. And the price is the same as at the machine and online. So, that one doesn't matter.
Are there any discounts?
Yes, if you're under 30 or over 65 and you book like weeks ahead, you have 30, 40% off.
Really?
So we have a plan.
Wow. And for people that travel the same route a lot?
Okay, you're looking to current options. Yeah, 10 tickets on the same route, much better price per journey. I do Roma Padua on Italo regularly, I would say, and the carnet is generally worth it.
I still like this Italo fan, and you always mention Italo. Tell me about the Italo versus Frecciarossa.
Italo is way better, better promotions, more deals, same quality of service. I'm on the Roma Padua route maybe twice a month, and Italo is just the best for prices. Yeah, Frecciarossa is iconic, but I think Italo is the better deal more of the time.
Are they as fast as each other?
Yes, sure.
I remember that. And what about apps?
I think that you should download Trainline or Trainpal. Basically, they show Italo and Trenitalia in one place. I prefer Trainpal because it has more like discounts and it's easier just to use.
What about loyalty programs?
You should absolutely do that for both because you accumulate points and then after a while you get free tickets. So yeah, costs nothing.
Brilliant. And finally, what about the universal Italian rail experience? Strikes.
No, please. The strikes. I think that delays in Italy are not really the issue because usually it's just 10 minutes maximum. But the thing that ruins your day is a strike, and they happen all the time.
So what do you do about it?
You just have to Google your route before you buy the tickets, always. I mean, there are guaranteed service windows. I think it's before 9 a.m. and after 6 p.m. I'm not sure, so double check.
What about safety?
Ice speeds are fine any hour because they are always busy. But regional trains, it's a completely different story. I'm talking like at night. At night, you can end up with people who didn't buy a ticket, all empty carriages. So if you're a woman traveling alone, I wouldn't recommend you taking a train in that hour. And if you do, you should. I personally feel more comfortable sitting in the carriage closest to the driver.
I can see that. And
Yeah.
cleanliness?
High-speed trains are clean usually because someone comes through with a bean bag at the end of every trip. But for
That
the
makes sense.
regional trains, no, for the regional trains, expect anything.
Any last tips?
I mean, the Wi-Fi works. Staff speak English almost everywhere now. There's space for luggage, even for bikes, and it only has lockable storage, which is something that can be useful.
It's a lot of practical knowledge from someone who says the data is wrong.
No, the data isn't wrong. The data is right about what it measures. I'm just adding the texture.
Fair enough. So I think the takeaway, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about moving to Italy, or if you just want to travel around it a little bit more seriously,
Yeah, don't trust the brand.
don't trust the brand. The places you heard of are not always the places with the best trains. The Frascatis of Italy have the famous names, but the Zagarolos average.
Yeah, and manage your expectations. Or like if you ever taken a train in Japan, just know like Italy isn't Japan. There will be noise, there will be messy queues. So things would be chaotic. Yeah, it reflects the country. So yeah, embrace it.
Indeed. So all the data we talked about today, the 7,795 comuni, the drive times, the connectivity scores, the lake by lake breakdown, it's all live in Magic Towns Italy on the Town Explorer. We've added a lot of cool stuff for you to try out. And you can compare these towns side by side. So if you're a subscriber, it's already live in your account.
And if you're not,
Subscribe.
yeah.
Honestly, this is the kind of work that the subscription pays for. Same thing as last week's healthcare update. We tell you about hospital quality. We tell you about how close the nearest hospital is. Stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. Certainly not from real estate agents. And now we freshened up Rail 2.
Yeah, we argued less about healthcare.
We did. Because Ben took him up first. And we were smug about it.
Okay. Thank you,
Well,
guys.
for Magic Towns Italy, thanks for listening.
That's it for this week on Magic Towns Italy. You can create a free account at magictowns.it and explore over 2,000 towns, including those offering the 7% tax scheme, as well as download dozens of expat guides. We have over 200 data points per town, more than Italy's Statistics Authority itself, covering everything from property prices to schools, healthcare, crime, and more. If you want full access to filters and unlimited searches, upgrade to Magic Towns Premium. Use the code podcast for 20% off an annual plan. Thanks for listening. Our next podcast will be live on Saturday at 9 a.m.